You're likely a coach or a consultant, maybe even a freelancer or an expert of some kind, looking for ways on how can I increase my business? Well, that's the purpose of this video, giving you everything that you need in a short time span so that you have exactly what you need to 2x to 10x your business, no matter how much experience you have, level or state of the economy, and also no matter your niche. Let's get into it. Now, whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur, you've already validated your offer, you've sold it a handful of times, or right now you're in the thick of it, you've got a plateau, a cap, if you will, or a ceiling on your time and your ability to remove yourself or extract yourself from certain tasks. Right now, let's say that you're doing one-to-one or group coaching, but it's just you. Or on the flip side of the coin, let's imagine you're somebody who has not yet even started selling anything, but you know that you have a skill or an expertise of some kind. No matter where you are right now in your journey, your experience of entrepreneurship, there will be something that you can take away from this training so that you can go take action and implement at least one thing for you to generate more income, get your time back, and know what you need to do or the direction that you should pursue in order to grow your coaching or consulting or freelancing business. Before I do that, I just wanted to speak briefly about all of the clients that I have, in fact, already coached or advised. At the time of this recording, I have worked with a multitude of different types of coaches, freelancers, consultants, even agency owners, all of whom have had different types of offers. Not all of them have been, hey, work with me, I'll help you make more money. And so that is what this wall is here. I consider this my wall of wins, having worked with people like Max, people like Farank, a drummer coach, people like Ishmael, who tackles doing organic marketing in the French market, Daniel, who's a now peak performance coach and pivoted away from just simply the Spanish-speaking market and has explored and opened his offer to the English-speaking market. People like Nick, who does IG shoutouts and has a done-for-you offer. People like Tremaine Turner, who runs his own sales agency. People like Alan, who had a low-ticket course teaching people in Spanish-speaking audience how to grow an Amazon FBA business and basically create new income, not have to go to a 9-to-5 or deal with a job that they hate. Or people such as Lada, who has a very cushy corporate job, but is looking to expand her opportunities and just start doing consulting and coaching online for mindset. People like Marc-Antoine, focused on peak performance for entrepreneurs. The list goes on and on. There's not enough space on this page nor time in the span of this training for me to highlight all of the names. But it's most important that I communicate the value so that you understand there have been people before you. You're watching this right now. People before you who I have worked with that have taken just a snippet, one piece, one item, implemented fully, and have had massive success, made 5K, 20K, 100K even, by implementation, simply practicing imperfect action. And so with that said, I want to encourage and advocate on your behalf for you to achieve your goal, no matter where you are in your journey, whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or an expert, or maybe you're just getting started, that you'd be open and compassionate with yourself to go ahead and just take that imperfect action. Whatever it is that you take away from this training, you implement that fully and continue to improve or enhance that for yourself so that you don't stay stuck. There's a common misconception that exists in the space of online coaching, consulting, freelancing, and so forth, which is, if I just decide to charge high ticket, then all my problems will go away. Well, unfortunately, that's more of a superficial fix, because simply just deciding to charge high ticket prices or a premium value is not your final answer. It is not the end all be all. The logic in this is if your offer is not very good quality, your product, whatever it is that you're fulfilling or delivering to your clients, isn't at the caliber that they need, it is not productized in a format that solves not only issue A, but also issue B and C that will come up along the way in the experience of this person needing their problem solved that you can service. Now, there are 3 things that you need to know in order to be able to 2x to 10x your client base or grow your business. Number 1, your offer. Lo and behold, the offer advantage. Now, courtesy of Alex Hormozi, he came out with a very inexpensive book that is so high value. If you haven't read it, I would highly recommend you check it out. $100 million offer. And it goes over in very, very intense detail how to craft an offer. In the span of this training, I am just going to touch the surface regarding an offer and expand on why it's relevant. The second component that you need to know are the 3 keys to hitting 100K per month or more. The third aspect are going to be the multiplier effect, the 2x multiplier. And then a bonus, as you stay to the end of this video, that it's going to be possible for you to plug into your business so you can start to 2x your business today. Now, what is the offer advantage? What does that look like? Well, there's a framework that you want to follow. You should know who you're servicing, ultimately who you're helping. Why do they need that thing that you're providing to them? What is it that they are going through at this moment in time? And what are you providing to them to solve that problem? Now this part, the 4th bullet, how or without. How are you helping them? What is your method? What is your process? If you're just starting out, you likely don't have some proprietary or unique system of some kind, and that's okay. You don't need to go come up with one and just pull it out of thin air. It's going to be very challenging, very difficult. So then what you want to pivot to, if that's the scenario for you, is what is it, 2 to 3 things primarily, that ideal client doesn't want to deal with, that they don't enjoy, that they would rather avoid like the plague. And then put this all together into a statement that communicates succinctly who you help, how, and the outcome that they need. Now, I would recommend at the time of you watching this, no matter whether you've done this a million times or not, still make the effort to write it out and then move on to the next section. If you're a beginner, pause the video, write it out, make the effort for both phrases, even if one is better quality than the other, and then proceed to the next part of this video. So, example 1, I help embed a type of niche or vertical. Then 2, what do you help them to do? What's the desire or the outcome or the goal that they're looking for? And then using, what is your method? You can go ahead and come up with your own acronym if you have some steps or process in mind. It doesn't have to create a word, ultimately, the acronym itself. The second version, I help, so again, the niche or the audience type. 2, what is the goal, gap, or desire? Without, what are 2 to 3 things that they hate, don't want to do, etc., that are potentially avoidable? Now, you're probably asking yourself at this moment in time, gosh, Aiden, but I already have an offer. I just don't have enough clients. Can you move on? Well, before we do that fully, I just want to preface this by simply saying that the reason you are potentially plateaued or stuck is either you've lost touch with your avatar, your ideal client audience, or, and so you're struggling to articulate that, or the alternative is that your offer is shit. Now that's probably tough to accept, so you can pause this video and go cry. That's fine. But once you are ready to continue getting clients, we have to just accept it for what it is. If you are working with an offer that is subpar, in a hyper-aware market and you have plateaued, you don't have predictability in your ability to get new clients, your system is broken. And therein, we want to start with the source of the problem, not a symptom of the problem, but the source of the problem. The symptom would be, hey, I'm not getting enough clients. The source of the problem or the root cause would be, what are you providing to them? Why does it matter? Why do they need it now? And how are you articulating that? There are 3 main keys to getting to 100K per month in your online coaching, consulting, or freelancing business. The first key has to do with your content, what you're putting out there to create top-of-mind awareness, the parasocial relationship, your visibility. The second key has to do with converting those people who are consuming that content and whether or not it's relevant based on where they are in their buyer's journey. The third key has to do with the close. Now, there's another common misconception that occurs in the online space, whether you're a coach, consultant, freelancer, or an agency owner or anything like that. And it's this false belief that the close happens somehow in the span of a strategy session or a sales call or planning session, whatever you label it, however you frame it. The thing is, oftentimes, when you have communicated in the content with an intention of conversion to this ideal client who has consumed the content or had a communication with you, let's say by email or DM correspondence, then the close really started or occurred prior to the sales call. In order to zoom in and solve these 3 keys, we're going to go over the 2x multiplier. So this is literally what you need to know in order to fix either one or all 3 of these areas. To isolate the area where you struggle the most, whether it's coming up with content and feeling like it's resonating for your ideal clients, the conversion process. So maybe for you, you don't have any issue coming up with content, but you're struggling to get likes and followers and engagement to convert into people who become a booked call. Or maybe you're decent at those first 2 steps, but then it comes to the close and you get all awkward and you're just terrible at advocating for someone to start working with you. Or you're not able to articulate succinctly in a meaningful way the value that you bring to the table. Well, here's what you're looking for if your issue or gap is content. Based on what you outlined previous in this video, the offer, who you help, in your offer advantage outline, you need to pick the top 3 to 5 problems that your current buyer, your ideal client, is actively experiencing. What are they going through that they need solved by way of your offer? Now, those 3 to 5 problems, issues, challenges need to become a pillar of what you will discuss or talk about in your content. If your primary gap or problem in growing your business is actually the conversions, so let's say that you do not struggle with coming up with content, you are creating content, you are getting engagement, you are getting people to interact with you, but you're not able to convert all of that into booked sales calls, then let's focus on the conversion process, where you would go through your DMs, your emails, your recorded phone calls if you've had strategy sessions or sales calls recorded via Zoom, for example. All of those types of interactions that you have had already or conducted with clients who already paid you and that you also enjoy working with. Now, the caveat here is that it's not enough for you to identify who can afford my service. That's not enough, unfortunately, because your time is valuable, so is your energy. You should only be prioritizing working with people who are a good fit, who you resonate, who you vibe with, however you want to frame it, that you like. Those typically are the types of relationships and clients that will be there for months and years to come. Your business should be decidedly a byproduct of not only what you're good at, but also something that you enjoy. And so this is the primary reason that I have shared. You want to make sure whoever you have evaluated when you do the review, if let's say you do it as a spreadsheet or a document of some kind, you don't want to neglect who do you actually enjoy working with, or who have you enjoyed working with in the past? Is there some common thread amongst all of these DMs or emails or the niche or something along those lines? Now, pinpoint exactly what, pinpoint exactly what it is that you said that convinced that person to work with you, to lead to the booked sales call, to say, yeah, sure, just send me the invoice, for example. If your primary issue is actually the close, so the end of the finish line, then a good thought for you would be to ask current clients, hey, client name, what is the number one reason that you decided to work with me after all? Or what is it that convinced you the most? Let's say that you've already been working together, you've already provided them a deliverable. Hey, name, I was just checking to see if you don't mind, if you could give me a little bit of feedback briefly, 30 seconds or so. What's the number one reason that you selected me out of all of the candidates who could help you with your website, who could help you with your social media marketing, who could help you with, and then whatever it is, insert that. Was it something that you did or said is what you're looking for? Because again, you want to identify a pattern of some kind. Now, once this person, or clients rather, if there's more than one, share this feedback with you, then this should become part of your marketing or integral to your marketing to move forward, so that you continue to rinse and repeat and get more clients who are just like that person, your ideal client. Here's the bonus. Here is exactly how you can start to 2x your business or better today. So if content is your main challenge, I want to recommend that you go post a viral transformation post or a milestone post of some kind in Facebook groups where your ideal client is hanging out. The pro tip here is that you will mention how you overcame one of the top 3 to 5 problems that your ideal buyer is facing right now. Then aim to see if you can help them, right? So people are going to, once you submit a post, there should be no call to action. This is not about self-promotion. But if we can serve people, if we can help people with our offer or a concept that is in alignment with our offer, then when you get comments or questions, follow up, respond, interact. This is a community environment when you are leveraging a Facebook group. Now, to take it a step further, you should absolutely, once you have been helpful in the comments, make sure that you send a friend request and a DM, okay? So you don't immediately jump into asking about that person's business or relationship or how much money they're making or where do they see themselves with their health or whatever it is that your offer is in relationship to, okay? That'd be no different than moving very quickly, expecting to like you meet somebody that you like and then moving very fast-paced, right? It's incongruent with what's going on in the context of that interaction. Now, you want to establish some rapport and navigate the conversation, yes, in a caring way, but being too quick to give somebody else advice that they didn't ask of you, that's going to make the conversation more difficult. Also, it may be preemptive to that person seeing you as an authority figure. So this is why the relationship coming first must always be your main priority. If conversions is actually your challenge, if that's the case, then definitely review the DMs, the emails, or recorded phone calls that you've already had with clients, right, that paid you and that you liked working with. But a pro tip here is that you're going to identify the key phrases or patterns in that conversation that led to them booking the call. So whatever was said right before they booked a call, whatever was said right before they said, yeah, send me a proposal, send me a template, send me your website, send me whatever it is, okay? And even better if they have said like, yeah, sure, send me an invoice, or yeah, I'm ready to get started. What did you say right before that? What happened right before that? Again, if you can create a working model for yourself, that's even better, because then you have something that you can rinse and repeat and eventually delegate to other people who are going to be working in your team. This should become part of your standard process, right? So standard operating procedure in your interactions that you or whomever on your team that is delegated this responsibility will have with prospective clients. So you can make a video training on this for your team if you have someone who manages your email or your social media inbox. And it's just as simple as doing a screen recording like with Loom or something along that lines by taking a selfie style video and also putting screenshots in an accompanying document. So maybe like Google Doc or Google Drive. Now, if your main sticking point where you're not doing well is closes, then you want to ask your current clients what's the reason they chose to work with you. But to take that a step further, you should definitely be giving value in your marketing even before you have a sales call, right? If we don't demonstrate value, if we don't demonstrate our expertise, it's pretty challenging. It's pretty difficult for us to get upset about somebody not feeling like you know what the hell you're talking about, you're able to lead them to the promised land or achieve that desired outcome or result. Okay. So what are other ways you can demonstrate value, social proof, that you have expertise? You can share testimonial videos. You can share client case studies that are similar to their situation. You can also share screenshots in your social media that will allow you to highlight reasons why that buyer should be able to trust you or believe you that you'll be able to help them achieve that desired outcome, assuming that they decide they want to work with you or choose you, okay? But you've got to be willing and open to answer the types of questions that they might ask of you or for you to similarly ask them questions. So if somebody hasn't purchased from you, then you should be open to feedback, not just, oh, okay, well, they went back into the pool and, oh, well, it's not a lead anymore. You should always be open and receptive to getting feedback because maybe you did something or didn't do something that that person was looking for to establish that trust and credibility. Now, let's say you don't know what you need, or this sounds great, but you have no idea where to get started. You don't know how to implement, and you're starting to feel like, well, what if I can't do all of that alone? Go ahead and just contact us outright. Either myself or someone from my team would love to talk to you about potentially helping you to grow your business. Whether it's a coaching business, a consulting business, maybe you have a course or you freelance at the moment. I don't know if we're going to be able to help you. That's me being transparent. I don't know your situation. I don't know your goals. And I only work with a select few group of clients. I'm very particular. But what I can do for you if you were to book a call is I can absolutely let you know what direction you need to prioritize, what you need to focus on. And in the event that I'm not the right fit, if I'm not the right type of person to be helpful to you, not only am I going to let you know, I'm not going to leave you to your own devices, but if I have a good recommendation or a suggestion or a referral, I'm going to provide that to you as well, so that we are focused on your ability to go from expert to legend.